everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Tracy Liu, VP of Channel Sales with Clearly IP. And presenting with me today is Musio Ahumada, our new Director of Hospitality Sales, who just started with us in May. We're really excited to have him on board. And Eduardo Abad, one of our product managers. Today, Musio and I will be giving you an overview of ComXchange, the telecom solution for hospitality. In the second half of our presentation, Eduardo will be giving us a live demo of the ComXchange interface. Before we begin, I just want to remind everyone that you're muted, but if you have any questions at all, please type them into the Q&A chat and we'll get your questions answered towards the end of the presentation. We're also recording this webinar and it will be posted to our website and YouTube channel, and each attendee will also receive a copy of the recording via email. All right, let's get started. So here's our agenda for the day. I'll be giving you a quick intro into Clearly IP, and then Musio will jump into ComXchange, where we'll discuss features and benefits, PMS integration, and deployment options. Then we'll go over hardware and phones for ComXchange, as well as some other products to enhance your ComXchange solution. And then we'll enjoy a live demo of the user interface from Eduardo, and we'll wrap up with Q&A. So who is Clearly IP? Clearly IP is a VoIP organization and team of experts that was founded in 2019. Our founders are the original founders and innovators behind FreePBX, which is one of the world's largest telecom applications. About 85% of our staff is engineering, and our passion is building quality VoIP products, which we've been doing since 2010. We are leaders in telephony, and we're laser focused on delivering cutting-edge solutions that are secure, collaborative, and productive. We're also a growth company. So we're always improving our product set and partner program and always looking at intelligent acquisitions to bring more capabilities. So what gives us an advantage over the many VoIP companies out there is our legacy of innovation, reliability, and market expertise. We have corporate offices in Appleton, Wisconsin, and Montreal, Canada, as well as a team of global telecom experts located all over the world, including Colombia, Ecuador, and Argentina. Here's our history. Again, we were founded in 2019, and since then, we've grown quite a bit and acquired a number of companies. The one I want to highlight is 360 Networks, which was founded in 2014. This is where we got the ComXchange platform, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. So ComXchange has been around for just over 10 years and is very well established in the hospitality industry, and we are a trusted vendor. This is the entire Clearly IP product set. Our flagship product is Clearly Cloud, which is a distributed multi-tenant PBX and UCaaS platform. We also manufacture our own IP desk phones and gateways to go with our platforms like ComXchange and others. And this really gives us an advantage. Clearly IP phones and gateways are built really well, and we sell them at great prices exclusively through our partners. Clearly Anywhere is a mobile application and soft phone that runs on top of ComXchange and Clearly Cloud and some FreePBX platforms. SIP trunking is how we got started back in the day. It's a very high quality, reliable SIP trunking platform. Cloud Device Manager is our cloud provisioning solution. We support over 300 different models of phones, paging systems, etc. And we just added our gateways. It's highly integrated with Clearly Cloud, but also runs independently. Codex is an emergency alert solution that I'll be talking a little bit about today for hotels and other places that have an extra security need. And ComXchange is our hospitality suite system, and this is our main focus today. We also have a panic button that allows you to push a button that's connected to your phone. Nothing changes on the phone, but pages go out into the world, and the mic gets turned on so people can listen in and deliver valuable information during an emergency situation. And we also have Send Fax To, which is our electronic faxing solution that we'll cover later. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Musio, our new Director of Hospitality Sales, who will introduce ComXchange.
Well, thank you, Tracy. Hi, everyone. This is Musio Ahumada, the new Director of Hospitality at Clearly IP. And I'm very excited today to join this webinar for the first time and to have the chance to introduce to you ComXchange. Our ComXchange is our telephone system designed to meet the needs of the hospitality industry. It is a very reliable and dependable system, and it has been tailored to help hotels enhance their guest experience, ensure their safety, and streamline their operations. ComXchange has been in the market for over 10 years, like Tracy mentioned, Through all this year, we have been enhancing, improving, and adding new features to the platform. Our expertise allows us to deliver tailored communication solutions for a wide range of hotels. We go from small boutique hotels to large resorts and from independent operators to major global hotel brands. Today, we are proud to say that we are a preferred vendor for the top 3 largest hotel brands in the world. We're also a trusted partner for more than 2,000 hotels, and we have a record of over 400,000 rooms serviced. We are represented across every single brand listed in this slide and much more. So this is just a short list of all the brands that we support. ComXchange has a unique simplified licensing that allows us to deliver easy management, configuration, and programming. On the left side, you can see that our base system has over 150 phone features enhanced for hospitality, and all of them are included in each user license. We include features like wake-up call, multi-language voice prompt, and separate admin and guest voicemail services, where guest information, room setting, and mailbox are deleted on checkout. Multi-brand support and PMS integration are also included, and we can support 2 or more hotel brands on the same property and serviced by a single ComXchange system. Calls can be routed to each front desk and can also connect to multiple PMS systems and multiple call accounting systems. Call queues, call routing, out attendant, IVR, and other guest services are also included in the same user license. The only add-on licenses are for call accounting, soft phones, and ACD reporting. ComXchange integrates with most of the PMS systems on the market, and we can connect to a PMS system on-site or in the cloud using IP or serial interface. We have an extensive experience on PMS systems listed here, including Marriott PMS FOSI, Hilton PMS on Q and PEP, Choice Advantage, and Opera. We can also integrate to a larger list of PMS systems through middleware partners and integrators like Tiger TMS and Control. And one of our strongest features is that a single ComXchange system can support multiple PMS connections with such a granular control that allows us to assign each individual guest room to a specific PMS system. And of course, our support team is always available to help you walk through any PMS integration and overcome any challenges. We know that 911 compliance and emergency notification are also a priority for our customers these days. So hotels need to ensure their guest safety, but at the same time, avoid expensive penalties, fees, and lawsuits. ComXchange is not only compliant with carrier laws, we can also provide panic button and mass alert notification services. So when someone dials 911 or presses a panic button, we can trigger multiple notifications to the front desk, a paying group, or a paying system. We can also send text messages, email, and make phone calls until someone answers. So this helps ensure that the proper personnel respond in an emergency situation. ComXchange is also compliant with Railroad Act, which requires the first responders have the necessary information to pinpoint the dispatchable location to reach the emergency caller. So if you're using clearly IP SIP trunks, you can program a dispatchable location for each phone directly in the ComXchange interface, so there's no need to have a DID for each phone user. And another huge benefit for our customers is that Codex, our emergency notification solution, has been added at no cost and is now built in the ComXchange interface. With ComXchange, we have developed the following hotel feature applications. One of them is called Guest Wake Up App, and the other one is Guest Management App. These apps can be added to your IP front desk phone so you can manage guest room assignments, check-ins and check-out, schedule wake-up calls, and other guest room services, even when the PMS system is down. This feature is also accessible through our browser-based hotel dashboard on your desktop, and these apps can be added to a Clearly IP phone and other SIP standard phones like G-Link and SNO. Full text messaging and SMS integration are supported in a ComXchange system and with no additional cost for you. SMS is a great tool to the front desk or concierge to communicate with their guests using Clearly Anywhere mobile app, or the desktop user control panel via chat interface. They can notify the guests when a room is ready, help with reservations, or just respond to any questions and requests. It is also a very convenient way to their guests to communicate with the concierge, to ask for more towel or make any other room service request, just using their own smartphone. So there's no need for an app on the guest's smartphone, and our guests really love this feature. For the hotel, this is also a great tool for improving their guest experience. So in order to use SMS, the hotel must have clearly IP trunking with SMS-enabled numbers. So this will allow the hotel to send and receive text messages directly from their business line. So we have to set up a campaign with a mobile carrier and also have a process for opt-in and opt-out. We have a hotel dashboard that is a browser-based portal that allows the front desk to manage also room assignments, check-ins and check-outs, wake-up call, and other room status, even when the PMS system is down. It is also a great application for very small hotels locations that they don't have any PMS system. Our software assurance helps you protect your system. It guarantees that you will receive the latest software updates and give you priority access to our technical support team. Our ComXchange system comes with 1 year of software assurance, and it can be extended to 5 years. And with software updates, we introduce new features and enhance system usability. We include software upgrades, updates, and patches, as well as protection from glitches and bugs. You will also have access to our technical support team from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, for any deployments, migrations, and troubleshooting questions. And we also provide emergency support 24/7, 365 days a year. And if you're using our call accounting application, our software assurance gives you annual updates, so it saves you time and ensures accuracy in your billing system. In summary, staying up to date with your software assurance not only ensures that you will receive support when you need it, but also give you a peace of mind with critical security updates and stability improvements. Now we're going to be talking about our deployment options. ComXchange delivers a flexible deployment method to meet the needs of every single hotel. It can be deployed on-premise, hosted in the cloud, or in a hybrid configuration. In a ComXchange on-premise configuration, the ComXchange controller can support existing legacy analog phones through clearly IP gateways or any other standard gateways, analog trunks, T1 PRI, and failover gateways, and we can also integrate with clearly IP SIP trunking or other SIP provider of your choice. These help you leverage new lower cost technology while maintaining compatibility with existing infrastructure. All IP phones for guests and admin stations are managed by the ComXchange controller on-site. The PMS interface can connect to a PMS system on-site or in the cloud via IP or serial interface. And for an on-premise ComXchange deployment, the hotel purchases the ComXchange controller that is physically installed and maintained on-site, and the one-time user license fee for each extension user. On-premise deployment has intrinsic value for you. We can integrate with existing legacy analog guest phones and gateways. The hotel has full control over their communications infrastructure by having the hardware on site. The hotel can manage software updates and hardware upgrades at their own time. All data is stored on site in compliance with any stringent data protection policies, and you can avoid potential downtime due to internet outages and have failover to traditional analog or T1 lines. On-premise deployment is a great solution for customers that prefer to have capital expense. You will have a higher one-time upfront cost, but the first year of software assurance is included, and you can purchase multiple years at a discounted rate. On the other hand, in a host ComXchange solution, the PBX is hosted in the cloud and managed entirely by Clearly IP. This eliminates the need for on-site controller and in-house maintenance responsibility. So whether you're adding a user or expanding to a new location, the host system can grow with you without the need of investing in additional hardware. With the host model, everything, including the software assurance, is grabbed into a monthly user subscription. You can also choose to pay a monthly fee for any Clearly IP gateways or devices if needed. And bundling Clearly IP SIP trunking offers additional savings and features. Our host ComXchange solution supports remote management, which ensures seamless guest services even when the staff is off-site, robust security features like encryption and regular audits, and all the updates, maintenance, and support are provided by Clearly IP. ComXchange hosted in the cloud solution offer hotels lower upfront costs, shifting their expenses to operational instead of capital. It also allows the hotel to focus on their core operation without the need of in-house IT resources. And finally, the ComXchange hybrid deployment offers the best of both worlds. It combines the reliability and control of the on-premise solution with the flexibility and scalability of the host solution. In a ComXchange hybrid deployment, your front desk and admin IP phones are connected to the ComXchange hosted in the cloud. You will have a local controller on site for redundancy that maintains the PMS connectivity and the guest rooms phones. This ensures operation even if the internet or cloud network goes down. And in the case of the internet going down, guest calls within the hotel can still go through, and you can fail over to another SIP provider or analog trunk provider. This hybrid setup provides the hotel with on-site dependability and redundancy while offering the scalability and flexibility of the host solution. It also offers hotels lower upfront costs, shifting their expenses from operational to capital instead of capital, which make it a flexible and future-ready alternative to traditional on-premise or fully host solution. Well, with this, I conclude my presentation. So now I'm going to pass it back to Tracy. Hope you guys like it. So Tracy will continue talking with you about hardware options and solutions to enhance your ComXchange solution.
Thanks, Mucio. All right, let's talk hardware. So for on-prem and hybrid models, Clearly IP manufactures some powerful 1U rack mountable controllers that ComXchange runs on. We have several models that scale up to 3,000 extensions, and they're sized to be as economical as possible. We use best-in-class hardware with quad-core processors, solid-state drives, and gigabit network ports. So each controller comes with a 2-year warranty out of the box, and there's an option to increase that to 5 years. Part of deploying to a hotel involves managing a high volume of phones. Some hotels are starting to use IP phones for guests, but a lot of times analog phones are still in the hotel rooms. So to integrate with these legacy phones, we manufacture our own FXS gateways that scale anywhere from 2 to 96 ports. These gateways allow the analog phones to talk SIP, so they can be supported with ComXchange. And ComXchange, as Mucio mentioned, is carrier agnostic, so we allow for multiple carrier options, including a native SIP trunk, T1 PRI, or FXO analog line connection with the use of a gateway. Here's our full line of analog and PRI gateways. Actually, it's missing the 2-port gateway. But on the left are ComXchange gateways. We have 72 and 96 port modular FXS gateways and smaller 8-port gateways, as well as 24 and 48 port non-modular gateways. Each of these gateways can be auto-provisioned with our provisioning tool directly through the ComXchange web GUI. And they all work seamlessly with ComXchange and come with a 2-year warranty. The smaller 8-port gateway also supports FXO analog trunks. So you could have 4 FXS devices or 4 FXO analog trunks connected to it, or 8 and 8. For the front desk and back office, hotels are installing SIP-based phones. Since ComXchange is a SIP-based phone system, we can accommodate all major brands of SIP phones. However, we do have the tightest integration with Clearly IP phones, and we also support existing IP phones like Yealink, Polycom, Snom, Astra. Here's our own line of IP phones that are tightly integrated with ComXchange. Our desk phones all come with dual gigabit ports. They all have color screens, they're sleek, and they look great. And they're plug and play with zero touch provisioning. So you don't even have to take the phone out of the box to configure it. We have everything from a basic phone, the 230 on the very right, to our most popular phone for front desk or general office use, the 250, and the 270 is a manager phone, but also very popular for the front desk. All of the phones from the 270 and up are Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled. And then we have the 280, 290, and 291, which are our Android-powered smartphones for executives and receptionists. The 291 is our newest smartphone. It comes with a cordless handset and a built-in HD camera. If you want tactile keys, we also make an expansion set, which integrates with the 270, 280, and 290 phones. And we have accessories like our USB panic button for discrete emergency notifications, a USB camera, a EHS adapter for headsets, and a Wi-Fi Bluetooth dongle for the 230 and the 250. Some other features that Clearly IP phones come with are HD voice support, 5-way conferencing, and a built-in VPN client. I also want to point out that our phones come with a 2-year warranty rather than the standard 1-year warranty, and you can extend it to 5 years. We even have a phone rental program and branding available, so you can put your own logo or the hotel's logo on the front of the phone. Okay, now we're going to get into some products that will enhance your ComXchange solution. Clearly Anywhere is a mobile app and desktop softphone. It's great for any manager or employee that needs to be reachable, but also needs to move about the property and communicate. So their mobile app becomes their mobile desk phone in terms of calling. It's basically the same extension, and it can ring in both places. And they can receive voicemail and dial others internally, as well as dial externally, as if they're calling from the property on site. Versus if the desk phone at the property is just forwarded to your cell phone, you can't receive voicemails as easily. You can't dial users internally or dial externally with your caller ID showing that you're coming from the hotel. And you can't access things like SMS chat. So with Clearly Anywhere, you have all these features, and your extension is everywhere you need it to be, and it's easily configured using a QR code. It can also be installed on a smartphone, tablet, or laptop. We do have a desktop version of Clearly Anywhere, and it has a dial pad, and you can have all of the standard features and buttons that you'd have on your physical desk phone to allow you to transfer, hold, conference, mute, and more. And then also, if you have other employees in your quick dials, you can easily see if they're on a call or not. And you have a chat interface for SMS. You only need to purchase a Clearly Anywhere license for each mobile app user, and it's a wonderful enhancement to ComXchange and your hotel communication system. Another awesome enhancement to ComXchange is Codex, which is now included at no additional cost. It's a solution designed for hotels that need a way to mark areas and rooms as safe or unsafe during an emergency and see the real-time status of who has checked in or not checked in. So you can create codes like code red, code yellow, code green, and allows you to pre-record messages that can be sent out over the paging system based on those codes or conditions, and send out mass alerts and notifications. So whether it's an evacuation or a lockdown or something like that, it can place live messages or pre-recorded messages. And then on top of that, there's a dashboard of all the rooms and zones within the property or hotel, where callers and users can call in and report their status if they're safe, or you can have the system call rooms and ask them if they're safe, and they could just press a number to report if they're safe or unsafe. And then you have a dashboard to see which areas are safe. And you can also have camera systems deployed where in zones where you can't make phone calls. So you can see into that zone and see if it's safe, even if no one called in. So this is a great emergency add-on solution to ComXchange, and we now include it at no additional cost. Another enhancement option is ComX-Q-MetriX, which is an advanced call center platform that can be added to ComXchange. It has unlimited queues and campaigns and the ability to track, measure, and report on over 200 call center metrics like call volume, hold time, and reservation booking stats. It also has call monitoring, so you can listen, whisper, and barge, and call recording, so you can record calls for training, and you can manage your reservation center with customizable wallboards and alarms. ComXchange Call Accounting is also an add-on license, only for on-prem though. So for hosted, we include call accounting with each license per extension, and that gives hotels the ability to track and manage office and guest room telecom expenses. So it has a separate GUI that has real-time monitoring, reporting, and integration with ComXchange. Hotel operators can analyze usage patterns, identify cost-saving opportunities, and ensure accurate billing. So all of the telecom expenses go directly onto the customer folio for long distance and international rates, which are applied automatically. Clearly IP SIP trunks are a great addition to ComXchange. They're a low-cost alternative to expensive analog phone lines or T1 PRI connections. Our SIP trunks are resilient, high quality, and fully geo-redundant. We support everything you would expect, like local, toll-free, international, SMS, and advanced E911 integration. We have both metered and subscription call paths. With metered, you might have hundreds of call paths, but you're only paying for usage by the minute. But with subscription call paths, you pay for the number of concurrent call paths, and you get 3,000 pooled minutes for each call path. You can also mix and match metered and call path trunks to save money. For ComXchange, we have integration with our SIP trunks in the admin interface, which makes it super easy to configure. And we have a self-service portal where you can place an order for a SIP trunk, choose a DID, and be up and running and make phone calls from that SIP trunk within just a few minutes. For hotels that need to do faxing, we do have a virtual fax solution called Send Fax To. So you can fax from virtually anywhere on any device. We do inbound and outbound fax. We can do fax to email, email to fax, fax to analog machine, and fax to print. So you can fax from a mobile phone or even a multi-function printer. It's easy to set up, it's highly reliable, and you get reports that tell you when the fax goes through successfully. We have two types of fax subscriptions, high volume and low volume. And you only need a fax subscription for each concurrent fax call path. So you don't have to pay per page, per user, or per group. For hotels that want to continue using their physical fax machines, we can help them eliminate those expensive copper lines using our fax device. So this fax device is only required if you have a physical fax machine that you'd like to keep. So this fax device can support up to 2 fax machines. And we have our Clearly IP VoIP failover gateway, which is a Swiss Army knife of gateways. So 2 main applications are using it as a failover solution and POTS line replacement. So hosted PBX, if you're going with hosted ComXchange, is fantastic, but you are reliant on your internet connection. So if you have hosted ComXchange, which relies on the internet, the Clearly IP failover gateway allows you to maintain calling for your customers in the event of an internet outage. If their internet goes out, it establishes a separate SIP trunk over 4G to provide connectivity. So it's wireless with a 4G SIM inside. And the phones will have a secondary registration to the failover gateway if the first registration fails. So this protects your voice operations during an internet outage, and it reduces the overall risk of having a cloud solution. Another really useful application for the VoIP failover gateway is as a POTS replacement solution. A lot of hotels are still paying for expensive copper analog lines. That's so they can maintain analog devices like fire alarms, elevator panels, and security panels. Hotels can save a lot of money by replacing their current analog service with SIP. And if anything happens to the internet, the SIP trunk still fails over to 4G to maintain a secure and redundant path. So they can transition from expensive copper phone lines without sacrificing reliability. It's a very low-cost solution with powerful features, and it works great with ComXchange. All right, so AI is a hot topic these days. It's transforming how we work and interact with our customers. It's also setting new standards for improving efficiency and customer experiences, and it can help reduce operational costs. So I wanted to give you a preview of some of the exciting AI innovations that we're working on behind the scenes. So one of the first AI tools that's coming soon is our virtual receptionist. It's designed to reduce call volume to the front desk. The conversational AI will answer common questions like business hours, do you have a pool, directions, and it can identify caller intent and route calls efficiently. all while delivering a smoother customer experience. Shortly after we launch the AI Virtual Receptionist, we will have the AI Hospitality Concierge, which will enhance guest experience by automating some of the front desk functions like managing check-ins, handling personalized service like reservations, valet, room service, and amenity recommendations. The AI Hospitality Concierge will integrate with commonly used hotel applications like Hot Sauce and Alice app. So what sets our integration apart, and by the way, this will be a standalone integration that will work with phone systems that are not ComXchange. So this will work great with ComXchange, but even if you do not have ComXchange, you could get this AI integration. And what sets our integration apart is, we focus on creating truly natural human-like interactions, which means that our AI is interruptible. It means getting the details right with natural response times and knowing when to pause or listen, and adapting tone and emotional intelligence, and maintaining context to and reference to earlier topics. So we're dedicated to refining every nuance and ensuring a seamless and engaging experience. We're really excited about this integration and can't wait to share it with you soon. All right, so now we've gotten to the live demo portion. ComXchange has a really nice, modern, intuitive web GUI, and I'm going to turn it over to Eduardo so you can see it in action.
Thank you, Tracy. Starting to share my screen now. Okay, so this is the first screen you will see once you log in as an admin of ComXchange. This is its web interface. You admin through a web browser, of course, and as Mucio indicated, this is a fully featured PBX. You have all the features that you will expect from an enterprise phone system, like, of course, your extensions, IVRs or auto attendants, parking lots, queues, ring groups. You can configure exactly the inbound routing how you want it, as well as the outbound routing, include time conditions for that. So the calls behave differently depending on the time of the day they arrive or the day of the week and such. You have paging and intercom. So all the features of a fully featured PBX are here. And for now, we're going to focus on the guest management aspects of the ComXchange solution. So if you see in the top right, there's guest management. We have these models, general settings, guest extensions, guest speed dials, interfaces, and wake up calls. So general settings is very basic. I just click there, waiting to load. Basically, you have your guest extension seed password. You normally do not need to use this password to enter it on the phones because it will be auto-provisioned with our provisioning system, be it analog phones through the gateways or IP phones through the provisioning system here in ComXchange. And you just the phone apps wake up time format, 24-hour, 12 hours. So our phone, clearly IP phones, as well as SNOM and Yelling phones. Some models of Yelling and some models of SNOM have support for the phone apps called Wake Up, which is where you can program wake up calls. Normally, this will be done in the PMS, but if for some reason the front desk prefers to do it from the desk, they can do it from their desk phone sitting in front of them, or they could do it here in the hotel dashboard in the web interface as well. We'll see that next here, the hotel dashboard. So going back to guest management, let me show guest extensions. So the system divides the extensions into the guest room extensions and all the other extensions for the hotel, like the front desk, back office. If there will be a phone in a common area or a restaurant, there will be all those extensions are rather managed under the core configuration extensions module. But for guest room extensions are under guest management. And you can see in this example, in this demo system, we already have configured 10 extensions for, let's say, this will be the second floor of a small property. So it only has 10 rooms per floor. And you can even see at a glance if there's a check-in or if the room is check-in or not, and the name of the guest, and if they're in the not disturb status or not. So to create extensions is very easy. You see it here, the button add extensions. You just do it by range. So let's say I wanted to add the first extensions 101 to 110 for the first floor of this property. I just click here, add extensions. Click here 101, the first extension in the range. and 110, let's say, the first 10 extensions of the property, so the 10 rooms of that floor. Room start, you can leave it blank. It normally will be the same room number as the extension number, but some properties could have it different. So for example, maybe the room number could be like this, 1001 instead of 101. But you can leave it blank. Ring duration, how long to ring before sending to voicemail. You can disable voicemail if you need. PMS interface, this will define where this, in case that ComXchange, the same ComXchange instance can work for multiple hotels. So let's say Hotel A and Hotel B. So you will select the PMS correct, the connection for that hotel, and you are saying that these extensions that you're creating are for that hotel. If later you need to create other extensions for the other hotel, then you just select the other PMS interface and such. So you have complete control of where these extensions are going to for what property, for what hotel they will belong to. You have some caller ID settings here that are optional, and even emergency caller ID. So with emergency caller ID, it's important to know that we do not need the specific DID per room. We can provide locations, so dispatchable locations with our SIP trunking with ComXchange. And so whenever there's an emergency call made from a room, it can tell the dispatch center the exact room of the emergency from where the emergency call was made, without the need of a different caller ID or a different DID for that room. So that's good to know. Let me go back here to guest management. We have a guest speed dial. So basically, this will be press, in this example, 5 to go to a destination. 3000 will be the extension number of the restaurant. Or let's say in this example, let's say the front desk will be, instead of 966, let me modify that, so that when 9 is pressed, it will go, or when 1, whatever, is pressed, it will go to the, not 0, here it will be the extension of, let's say 2000 is the front desk. So it's basically a speed dial, because the phones in the guest rooms could be very basic and do not have many buttons. So in some properties, perhaps only they have the keypad and nothing more. So you can use these speed dials for those quickly reaching those destinations with a single digit. Interfaces, like I mentioned, this is for connecting with the PMS, of course. We can have IP-based connections with the PMS or serial-based. So let me click to modify this interface. You see here the protocol. We support a lot of them, and even through a connector with Tiger TMX, for example, it's a connector. We can virtually support any PMS. Most property nowadays can connect with using this ComXchange protocol, but if not, we just need to select it from here from the list, and our support team will help with the connections if there are any issues. But normally it's just a matter of selecting here the correct protocol or emulation, and it will work. So here are protocol settings down below there, and here below are IP settings. So if this will be connected through IP, then enable here, or if it will be serial, then disable this and go down here for serial port parameters connection. So those two are available. Of course, we have all the message options. Again, we can help with the interconnection, but normally the default settings are good. Class of service options, basically this is the restriction. So you can control, so by default, when a room is checked out and a person picks up the phone and makes a call, they can only dial, let's say, emergency calls and maybe to the front desk and nothing more. But whereas if that same room is in checking status, that same phone can dial anywhere, like long distance calls or international calls. So that's by default the behavior, but you can control the behavior here as well. Also, you can see you can allow by default room-to-room calling, or perhaps a property does not want to allow that, then you click to not allow room-to-room calling. Okay, and the class of service is configured here under core configuration. This is class of service, this first module. This is basically how you configure what destinations can be dialed depending on the class of service selected or the restriction selected, which is the same. And wake-up calls, this is not to program wake-up calls. Those normally are done within the PMS, or they can be done with the hotel dashboard as well. We'll see that, and also using the phone. But rather, this wake-up calls module is for the settings of the wake-up calls. So for example, in this example, it will ring for 30 seconds and then wait 1 minute and try one more time. Or in that case, yeah. And allow snooze, yes or no, allow daily reoccurring, yes or no. Failure call settings is what to do if the guest didn't answer the wake-up call. Perhaps you can notify via call and or via email notification. So to the front desk, hey, room 605 didn't answer the wake-up call. And perhaps they can do another thing, maybe knock on the door or take any other action based on that report, on that notification. So the timers for the wake-up call notification that the guest didn't answer are here as well. 6 rings for 60 seconds, wait 1 minute, and 2 attempts total. So there are logs here. So if for some reason you need to go back and see what happened to a certain wake-up call, you can search for the room here on the top, the room number or the extension number, and you will see what happened to that wake-up call. Okay, so those are the guest management models. Now in reports on the right, you see hotel dashboard. Let me go there here now. This is a place where you can do basic operations with the PMS. In the case for some reason the connection to the PMS was interrupted, you can still do check-ins or check-outs, perhaps set or unset do not disturb. So let me click here. So for example, as easy as that. And then what that does in the backend, the PBX, now that phone in that room can make outbound calls to a PSTN, right? And you can enable or disable do not disturb, or even program wake-up calls. If you hit here, set up a wake-up call, and you can set up. So normally, again, this will be done in the PMS, but this is like a failover or another approach. If for some reason you couldn't do it from the PMS, you can go here to the hotel dashboard and do that. And do those basic operations, check in, check out. Even if you click here on more in these 3 dots, you can move a guest from one room to another room. With regards to voicemail, whenever there's a checkout event, the voicemail messages will be deleted, removed from that voicemail mailbox, of course, so the new guest doesn't get access to them. Class of service, you can manually modify that. Room-to-room calls, you can manually modify that as well as the do not disturb status. Okay, so for now, let me go back to ComXchange. And the next thing we wanted to show is the call accounting. So as Tracy mentioned, call accounting is included in when we host the solution, when it's in ComXchange Cloud. But when it's on-premise, it's an add-on, but with a competitive pricing. So call accounting is where it will allow to integrate the phone with the billing system. So in that way, the guests can get billed appropriately based on the calls they made, of course, based on perhaps long distance or international calls. The first screens you see are the most recent calls. These are local calls, so there was no charge. Also, this system has no charge uploaded, so that is done here in admin. If you go to admin, you see normally you can import a VNH file for the rates, but also you have complete control of the rates. If you go here to call pricing, you can define the rates, and even on by the type of guest. If it's a default guest normally, or perhaps it's a VIP customer, you can have different rates for those. And how do you define if a customer is VIP or not? Here in the top, you see VIP guests. So normally it will list so it hasn't synced with, yeah, okay. It will list here the extensions, and you will say, okay, 102 is a VIP guest. You just click here, and now that room gets special rates applied. Okay, in the top, you see reports. At any time, you can go here and create and generate reports. You can see there's an example on the right. And also, this is for modifying the report. But if you click here on the left, you see the range of the report, and maybe email the PDF to the resulting. And there are some reports already created, but you can create new ones here on the top. And also, you can do a report scheduler. So basically send the report with the frequency that you want, which report to send, daily, weekly, monthly, and to which email addresses to send the reports. Okay, so it's a complete call accounting system. There are a lot more options. Again, this is the PBX, the connection of the call accounting with the PBX. the connection of the call accounting with the PMS. So those settings are both controlled here. Again, our support team can help establish that connection in case it, for some reason, the default parameters wouldn't connect. You can fine tune here. Normally it's not needed, but it can be done here. So that was call accounting. Let me go back for now to ComXchange. And the next thing we wanted to show is the user control panel. So for that, let me get out of full screen mode. There's another tab here I have open. And this is a panel for the front desk, for example, the hotel staff. They can log in, and you see there have many widgets. And for example, here on the top, you see SMS. We do have SMS integration. You can send and receive SMS messages with the guests through here. You see it in the lower right corner, and there's a chat window with SMS. And also through the Clearly Anywhere mobile phone app for Android and for iOS. So you have those two options for SMS with the guests. Here below, you see call history. If the call was recorded, you can listen it to here or download the recording. Then you can have call forwarding or some toggles to enable call forwarding. Presence also you can control here. And I have created also two tabs here for codecs. This is what Tracy was explaining, is a mass notification system to alert of via paging calls or via regular calls of an emergency event, like a natural disaster or any other type of emergency event. So in this example, it's a fire alert. And these were performed before. So let me show, for example, here. This was just, there are two types of codecs notifications, just alert or required checking. In required checking, the person receiving the alert, the phone, after the pre-recorded message is played to them, it will say, press 1 if you're safe, press 9 if you are unsafe. So if they are safe, they press 1. And so let me rather go to here, hurricane alert for that. Let me show the report. So yeah, in this example, the front desk press 1, so they are safe. This is a green status. Or if they didn't press anything, it's red, or they press 9, it's red as well, but a different message here, unsafe. So you have those status you can monitor from here, and that is control for now. Let me go back here to ComXchange. Here at the top, codecs. This is newly integrated with no additional charge. So you have codecs. These are the alerts that were already here in the system. And you can trigger them by calling a number, like by calling this number. And you can define which person can call that number, perhaps everyone or perhaps just certain phones, to trigger the notifications. Or you can do it from the control panel. If I go back here to the control panel, there's a button here, start, for that alert or start. So you can do it by a phone call or by clicking there on the user control panel. And here are the two types of modes, just mass notify or require checking. So if I click to edit one of these, I can see the mode checking or mass notify. If it's mass notify, some options get removed here because it's checking. Again, what I mentioned, it will prompt the user to press 1 for safe, 9 for unsafe. So here you define here below, there's a recording that you hear the announcements, a pre-recorded message. It can be or a live communication or both. And the initial announcement, you can upload it to the system and then replay it after some minutes. Okay, and here are the extensions to page. So it will be an auto answer call through a paging system or via the speakers of the desk phones. It will auto answer in a speaker and hands-free, and it will play the recording or hear the live conversation, the live announcement at that moment. That's paging, but you can also do it via regular calls. Here you select the extensions to notify via regular calls. And required to check in. These ones are the ones that the extensions that will require when they answer, they will get prompted to notify their status, safe or unsafe. And those are admin extensions, and guest extensions are managed here as well. So require check-in for guest extension, yes or no. Requires safe and unsafe, yes or no. Okay, so it's a very complete alert management system or alert mass notification system. With regards to that emergency situations, we also comply with, like I mentioned, you can send the location, the exact location, without the need of a specific DID per location. And we also support calling 911 even with additional prepends, of course. So 911 will go through, same as 1911. So if a digit is prepended to the 911 because during an emergency situation, still the call goes through. And another nice additional feature for that is emergency notifications. If we go here to admin, we see that every time an emergency call is made, you can notify a number. So for example, notify here, let's say, extension 2000 or any other extension. A notification call, how long to ring, how many retries, and how much time to wait between each retry. And you can also send via email a notification of the emergency call and include a geolocation header of that. Okay, the next thing we wanted to show is regards with ComXchange failover. So when ComXchange is installed on premise, you can have two controllers sitting side by side that they will be interconnected and syncing. It's very easy to configure that. You just need to define the IP address, which will be the main controller, which will be the secondary controller, and share this secret between both servers, and the backend does the rest. It syncs constantly, and if for some reason the main controller will become unavailable, the phones and the whole system will start working using the secondary controller automatically. We also have the hybrid scenario, like Mucio was mentioning, is that you have a local controller on premise, but also you have ComXchange hosted in our cloud. So in that scenario, the admin extensions, those are the front office, back office, all the hotel staff extensions register to the cloud, and the guest rooms register locally to the controller on premise. So you have those divisions, but still the whole system works like it was just one system. They can, of course, call between each other, and all the same experience and configurations will be the same as it was just one system. And in the case of one of the two servers, for example, if the internet connection went down, then all the admin extensions will start working with a local controller. Same thing the other way around. If for some reason the local controller went down, then those guest extensions that are normally operating with the local controller will start working with the cloud controller. So you have those geo redundancy in that sense with a hybrid environment, with a hybrid deployment. Now, with regards to configuring devices, we have this module called Clearly Devices. Basically, is for configuring Clearly IP phones. For example, you see here there are different models. Let me click one of the models, and you can define some settings here, of course, background image, some values, and also, most importantly, the line keys. So normally, the first key will be a line key. Perhaps the first three keys will be that, or the first two or three. And let's say key number 4, I like for it to be the guest management app. And let's say key number 5, the wake up app. So both guest management and wake up are PMS operations, but again, this can be done from the phone itself if you are using Clearly IP phones in the front desk, or some SNOM or yelling models. So it's another quick and easy way to configure check-in, check-outs, or wake-up calls through the phones. And of course, you can have BLFs, the usual BLFs for monitoring or extensions, directory access as well. Any paging or intercom, split dials, you can have all those features assigned to the different keys of the phones. And also hardware is gateway. So this module called gateway provisioning would allow for quickly integrating Clearly IP FXS gateways. So for integrating the analog phones, a lot of properties have their analog guest rooms using analog phones still. So of course you can still use them, but you will need the gateway. So there's a nice wizard for integrating the gateway. Let's say you can pick from this dropdown. Let's say I wanted a 96-port FXS gateway. I click submit, and it is just a matter of giving a name, put the MAC address of the gateway, and here you select OK, auto-populate extensions from port 1 to port 96. and you can select here, and you can auto-populate all extensions through this wizard. So all the ports, the first 96 extensions will be provisioned with this gateway. If you have a second 96 port gateway, it will also. So let me select here. It was rather guest. Okay. It will also provision the guest rooms phones that way, and you can stack multiple gateways, of course, and it's an easy way for provisioning instead of doing them manually by one, of course. So you have that provisioning of clearly IP gateways. You can use third-party gateways as well. We can, as long as they use OpenZip, like a regular zip, they can integrate with ComXchange, but the provisioning can be more a manual task in that scenario. So with this, I think I've reached the end of the demo. Please, Tracy,
All right,
going back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Eduardo. All right. Okay, so we do have some partners on this call. So I just wanted to really touch quickly on some of the Clearly IP partner program benefits for our ComXchange partners. So first off, we have great margins with competitive discounts, volume incentives, and recurring revenue opportunities for both cloud and hybrid deployments. And we have built-in tools to simplify 911 compliance across properties, and we support leading PMS platforms for multi-brand hotel groups, such as Hilton PMS with OnQ and PEP, Choice, and Fosse for Marriott. ComXchange is a purpose-built hospitality PBX, which means that we built it specifically for hospitality from the ground up, and it comes ready with embedded apps like voicemail, wake-up calls, do not disturb, and room status right out of the box. So there's no need for extra servers or third-party licenses. And we're 100% channel focused. That means that we do not compete with our partners. We exclusively sell through ComXchange through our partners. And we're here to support and grow your business, not sell to your customers. We also offer phone branding options, so you can customize the phones with your branding or the hotel's branding. This often helps reinforce the property's image or your value as the provider. And for enablement, our partner portal gives you access to branded collateral, case studies, demo kits, recorded webinars, and certifications, everything you need to sell effectively. And of course, you will have dedicated pre- and post-sale support from hospitality trained engineers. So we have a ComXchange specific support team that has been working only on hospitality for years. And all of them are based in the US. So we have completely US-based technical support, and we can help you with RFPs, scope deployments, and resolve issues quickly. So if you're interested in becoming a partner, please reach out to our sales team or fill out the partner application on our website under Partners and Partner Program. Before we go to Q&A, just want to introduce you to our next webinar, which is on August 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So this webinar will be on Clearly Anywhere, our mobile and desktop app that works with Clearly Cloud, ComXchange, and FreePBX. So you can register at the link here or go to clearlyip.com/events to register or see all of our upcoming webinars and events that we'll be attending. So with that, I am going to go over to Q&A. All right, looks like we have quite a number of questions here, which is awesome. Will you share slides? So yes, I can share a PDF of slides. And if you need something specific from one of the slides, just reach out to us and we'll work with marketing to get you what you need. Okay. Email sales@clearlyip.com or your account manager. Are your phones made in China? So we are using contract manufacturers for design, but they are our own phones that we manufacture. Currently, our phones are being manufactured in Laos, which is a TAA compliant country. Is ComXchange Marriott approved, or has it simply been installed? So just for clarification, Marriott does not require Marriott does not require their franchise properties to purchase through approved vendors, only the corporate. So we are working with Marriott on this currently, but you can install ComXchange into any Marriott franchise property. Are Clearly IP trunks standard with the hosted model? So it's not standard with the hosted model. It's a great solution with the hosted model, but we don't require you to use our SIP trunks. So you can use third-party SIP trunks if needed. And if you use our SIP trunks, then it's one throat to choke, right? Okay, so does cloud license cloud license doesn't include PTSN calling? So actually, I mean, we have a model, like a license for cloud that includes SIP trunking in the license, and we have one where it doesn't. So we call that bundled and unbundled. Okay, so another question about Marriott, just to clarify, there are no restrictions to installing ComXchange into a Marriott franchise property. For wake up call notifications via phone call. So this is Eduardo, if you're still here, do you know if it's a recorded message with the room number that goes out?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Right,
Record. Yeah.
Yes, and then there was another question for you here, Eduardo. With room moves on hotel dashboard, will voice messages move, or will it be a check out and then a check into a new room?
Voice messages should move as well, yes.
But it is also a check in, check out, and check in, right? And it moves the messages.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how the PMS integration will automatically do room moves the same way. Okay, great. Okay. What does a guest need to receive and send SMS to a concierge? So a guest just needs to text from their phone. There's no app that they have to download as a guest. However, the hotel, to receive that SMS, either needs to receive it in the user control panel or the Clearly Anywhere mobile app, which can be downloaded from the iPhone or Android app store today. So no, a guest does not need Clearly Anywhere to text the hotel. The app, the Clearly Anywhere mobile app, is just for hotel management and people that want to respond to SMS texts from guests. Does ComXchange integrate with Oracle Hospitality? Yes, it does. And I also included a link with all of our PMS integrations. Are you certified with Hilton? Yes, actually, we are currently certified with Hilton. We're one of 4 approved vendors with Hilton, but we are working on certifications across all major brands, including Marriott. And we have a team that's focused on that. So if you have a brand that you have a really big footprint with, please reach out to us and we can discuss. With hotel branding options, is there a minimum purchase required? So the cool thing about our branding is it's very low cost, and we have our MOQ, our minimum purchase requirement is only 10. So it's a very low setup cost. And then it's a minimum order quantity of only 10. So very low cost to have branding. All right. Does calling name display pick up the guest name from the PMS? So guest name follows their phone calls in addition to their room number and info on the IP phone's display.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we can confirm that.
Okay,
yes.
He's going to confirm that. He's going to try it out. All right. Does ComX bill customer direct, or is this wholesale model where VAR partners bills ComX customer for ComX services? So really we have 2 models. We have a reseller model where we allow the reseller to bill. And then we also have a model, and this is only for hosted, I'm talking, okay? We also have a model where we bill the customer. You can, so in our hosted model, we have a place for you to add your own services to that bill that we're billing the customer for. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. I know you guys are all very busy, so we really appreciate you joining us. Thanks, everyone.